G'day folks, Sapper here with another World of Warships video. Welcome to Bluff, or Bottom Line Up Front, a series where I review ships and give you the need to know first thing and the in-depth meat further on. Think of it as a ship review video but with a TLDR. In this video I review the Tier 10 Royal Navy Heavy Cruiser, Goliath. The bluff for Goliath is that she is a sluggish XP Pinata with a respectable alpha strike. She doesn't have the agility or armour scheme to enable the full use of her 12 guns. If built for long range, her DPM is anemic. If built like a normal cruiser, her handling is crippling. Goliath is best played from safety, either from distance or from behind terrain. Goliath is the definition of when more is less, and most people playing her will be missing Drake the entire time. Goliath is a frustrating and limited heavy cruiser with excellent HE shells. Based on appearance, Goliath is an upgun Drake without a spotter plane. And while this assessment is technically correct, it's about as far from the truth as you can get. Drake is an excellent and well-rounded heavy cruiser that hits like a hell-powered freight train. Goliath, on the other hand, has the same punch, but is otherwise nothing but a sluggish and bloated XP Pinata. To understand the problem with Goliath, you need to understand two things: agility and overall citadel setup. Agility can most easily be defined as rudder shift and acceleration. There are other metrics, but these two are the key. Goliath, like much of the Royal Navy Heavy Cruiser line, has a poor power to weight ratio, meaning poor acceleration. This weakness isn't really worth mentioning for the other ships because it's not a huge deciding factor in how the ships play. With Goliath, it is very apparent because acceleration becomes more noticeable the worse your rudder shift and armour scheme are. Goliath has an abysmal rudder shift of 12.5 seconds and a horrible citadel setup. Goliath shares the same raised citadel midsection seen in Albemarle and earlier ships. To add to this issue, she has a nose that can be overmatched by 406mm guns and cheeks that are overmatched by 430mm guns. The horror combination of overmatched sections and a big flat raised citadel section means she is a big and juicy target for almost every battleship she will face. This combination also means that her effectiveness at open water gunnery is limited to ranges beyond her 16.8km reach. For her ancestors, they mitigated average range with a spotter plane that enabled them to fight at safe ranges provided you had some skill. Goliath does not have this option. Goliath has a respectable alpha strike, and that's about it. As with Drake before her, her HE can pen all but the hardiest battleship decks, and she sets a decent amount of fires. Her AP is respectable, but at times trollish, overpens being common. In one-on-one duels with other low DPM cruisers, she has the potential to outlast them with a beefed up heel and health pool, but even then it's a risky play. Using HE at range, just about every other Tier 10 cruiser is better, even in open water settings. Predominantly, her strength is farming damage from cover or from maximum range while an enemy is looking another direction. Basic and intermediate players will find Goliath punishing to play, only really liking her health, heal, and alpha strike. Advanced players will be able to work with her concealment and terrain to get decent results at times. Goliath has two different viable builds: long range safety build or cruiser concealment build, which I'll cover in the upgrades section. On to the build. For modules, as with many Tier 10s, Goliath has no module upgrades. Consumables: premium repair, then heal, then hydro or DFAA is up to you, but I run hydro. For upgrades, there are two main builds that I recommend depending on your playstyle and what you are comfortable with. Both start the same. First pick up main battery 1, Damcon 1 and aiming systems. From there you have two options. The first is to build Goliath to play at range and safety, and the second is more about island firing and ambushing. For the long range build, Propulsion 1, Rudder 2 and Range Mod. This build is the easiest to play and basically turns Goliath into a long-range HE spammer with 12.3km concealment and 19.5km range. The downside to this build is that your reload is 18.5 seconds and your accuracy isn't the best at long range. For the standard cruiser build, Rudder 1 or Propulsion 1, it's up to you, she needs both and then some. Then pick up Concealment Mod and Reload Mod. With the cruiser build, you have improved DPM and concealment, but limited range, meaning that you will perform best when ambushing enemies or shooting from safety. Your damage potential with this build is far higher, but most players will find it much harder to perform well with. With both builds, there are better ships within these roles, and this is the crucial point with Goliath. Goliath is a cruiser without a niche or role, but she doesn't have the specs in a range of areas to be called a generalist. Either build is completely viable. For those who want less stressful gameplay, go for the range build. This isn't to say it's the noob build, it's just the build that'll work in most battles and is more likely to get you consistent results. I personally run the cruiser build. I found the DPM too low on the range build, I found the accuracy at those longer ranges trollish, and I'd rather play any other heavy cruiser at that range. Now onto captain skills. Regardless of the build, the captain skills are the same. Preventative maintenance, adrenaline rush, superintendent, and concealment expert for 10 points. Demo expert and expert loader for 14 points. Expert marksman for 16 points. After that, it's up to you, but I recommend Jack of all trades and priority target. For legendary commanders, Dunkirk brothers are ideal thanks to turret traverse and Jack of all trades buffs. The full bottom line is that Goliath has an alpha strike to be respected, but little else. She has crippling weaknesses that never really allow her to function in the same generalist playstyle that the rest of the line develops from tier 6, which reaches its zenith with Drake. Goliath's large health pool and good heal can't make up for her horrible agility and armor scheme. Many players will be able to get respectable scores in Goliath, but most will not find her fun to play. I found myself missing Drake a lot. The times you need a bit more range, Drake has access to spotter plane. The times when you need to kite, Drake has better agility. And that's the full bottom line. Goliath gets an extra turret and extra health, but trades in everything else for it. Goliath is a worse Drake in almost every respect, just at tier 10. So how does Goliath stack up for noobs and skills? Noob meter? 3 out of 10. Goliath hits hard, has a lot of health, and can be built to play at range. Everything else about her will give basic level players a hard time. Skillometer? 5 out of 10. Goliath can be used to get big games, and skilled players will be able to mitigate some of the weaknesses with good basic skills and forethought. However, Goliath has glaring weaknesses that are in the right combination to be infuriating in tier 10 games. My recommendation is to enjoy unlocking her. Drake is an amazing ship. Then prioritise the purchase of every other tier 10 cruiser before picking her up. It's a long shot, but maybe that'll give Wargaming time to buff her, although I doubt this will happen anytime soon. Her HE hits hard, so her damage numbers will probably be fairly high. This bluff completes the Royal Navy Heavy Cruiser line. Thanks for sticking around with me this far. Bluff will be taking a break for a month or two so I can focus on completing other videos. At the moment I'm looking at doing the Regia Mariner Heavy Cruisers next, however I'm open to other ideas. If you want to see me do a different line, jump up and down while screaming in the comments section, and if you're loud enough, I'll have a think about your idea and see what I can do. Feel free to let me know what you think about this video, the series, Royal Navy Heavy Cruisers, or Goliath down in the comments section. I hope you're all successfully avoiding cabin fever, or if not, that you're enjoying the roller coaster. Take care folks, and I'll catch you in the next one.